Okay, this is for Algebra 1. This is Factoring Polynomials, Day 2. Remember that last week we learned how to find the greatest common factor, which was the biggest number that would go into all the numbers. We also factored polynomials. What you could pull out had to be a number that would go into all numbers, all terms. And if there was a variable in every term, you use that variable with the lowest exponent it ever had. So very similar to what we did on Friday with factoring polynomials, but we're just going to go one step further. It's a little longer problem. There's going to be 4 terms. So you start, and what we're going to call this is we call this factor by grouping. We take the 4 terms and we group them into 2 parts. Step 1 is to split the problem in half. Just draw a line and cut it in half. You're going to pull the greatest common factor out of the first half. You're going to pull the greatest common factor out of the second half. This is what we did last week. Once you've done this, the 2 sets of parentheses you see should have the same thing. It's very important. This is part of your answer. You write it down. And then you take what you factored out of each half and put that as the other set of parentheses. So let's look at one. We start by cutting it in half. And then see what you can pull out. 2xy plus 7x. The 2 and the 7 have nothing in common, but they both have an x. So we'll pull an x out. And when I pull the x out, that leaves me 2y plus 7, because my x canceled for both of them. They have a plus, and so I put a plus. 2y plus 7 has nothing in common. When there's absolutely nothing in common, you just put a 1. Open parentheses. If all you're pulling out is a 1, it's going to stay just like it was, so 2y plus 7. So now you notice that both sets of parentheses are the same. That's a good thing. It's also an important thing. So you write that down. It's part of your answer. 2y plus 7. Then you take what you pulled out and turn that into the other set of parentheses, x plus 1. This is your answer. So we're going to split it in half. 4 and 8 both divide by 4. Both of them have a b. So we're going to pull out a 4b. That leaves me a plus 2. Bring down the plus. These both divide by 3. And it leaves me a plus 2. These are the same, which is a good thing. So a plus 2 is part of it. These go together for the other one, 4b plus 3. This is my answer. Split it in half. They both divide by 5, and they both have an x. So we pull out a 5x, and it leaves me 7 minus y. Bring down the plus. They both divide by 3, and it leaves me y minus 7. Okay, I have an issue here. Notice 7 minus y and y minus 7 are not the same thing. They're close. They're actually complete opposites. When that happens, you start here in the middle and you change the signs. This becomes a minus, this becomes a minus, and this becomes a plus. So now all of a sudden, negative y plus 7 is the same thing as 7 minus y. So 7 minus y, and then 5x minus 3 makes up your answer. Cut it in half. They have an x in common. Leaves me 2x minus 3. Bring down the minus. They both divide by 9. Okay, here's the thing. 18 divided by 9 is 2x. When you have a minus here, you're going to use the opposite of this sign. So instead of a plus, I'm going to say minus. 27 divided by 9 is 3. Now these are the same. So 2x minus 3 and x minus 9. Very important that if you have a minus right there, you use the opposite right here. Split it in half. They both divide by 2, and they both have an x. 10 divided by 2 is 5. X squared becomes x minus 7y. Bring down my minus. They both divide by 3. 5x minus 7y. It's minus because of that minus here. You got to change the sign. So 5x minus 7y and 2x minus 3 make up your answer. Split it in half. They both divide by 3. They both have an x. 4a plus z. Bring down my plus. They both have a y. 4a plus z. So 4a plus z and 3x plus y. That's my answer. Okay, that's all that was on the notes, but just a couple more to make sure you understand what's happening. These both divide by 3, and they both have an a. 4c plus 7d. Bring my plus. They both divide by 2, and they both have a b. 4c plus 7d. 4c plus 7d, and 3a plus 2b. Okay, one with variables, with exponents. They both divide by 3, they both have an x, they both have a y. 6 divided by 3 is 2. X squared and x, you got to subtract. 2 minus 1 is 1, so x. The y's cancel. Plus 9 divided by 3 is 3. X cancels, y cancels, z has to come down. Plus, they both divide by 2, they both have a y squared. 4 divided by 2 is 2. Bring your x down, the y squared cancels. Plus 3, y squared cancels, bring the z down. 2x plus 3z, and 3xy plus 2y squared makes up your answer. Split it in half, they both divided by 3, they both have an x. 5 minus y. Plus, they both divided by 4, y minus 5. Okay, these are the opposites, so this is where you got to go minus, minus, and plus to change all those. So 5 minus y and 3x minus 4. Split it in half, pull out a 5b, gives you a 4a minus 7. Minus, they both divide by 9, leaves you a 7 minus 4a. This is where you got to change your sign. So we've got plus, minus, and plus. So 4a minus 7 and 5b plus 9. Okay, this was Factoring Polynomials Day 2. If you have any questions, come see me during speed.